Hey everybody, what's up? Thanks for joining. Welcome to another Q&A. Today's version is the amazing damn Q&A because it's such an amazing time. It's an amazing Sunday. Do you guys believe in democracy? I kinda don't. But we don't want to talk about politics. All I wanted to say is that today was voting for president in Mexico. That's right. Man, I hate these delays. 26 seconds, 27, 28, 29, 30 seconds. It's because of the latency. It's a lot of things about streaming I don't understand. I'm pretty sure you people understand way more than me about these things. Maybe I should ask you. Like, hey guys, how do I do this? Because, it only takes about 52 goddamn seconds for everybody to appear here on the chat and for YouTube to catch up and show the concurrent viewers, the likes. It's not even showing the analytics. It's not even worth it. Thank you, YouTube, for being so goddamn slow. So I get the feeling they do it on purpose. This music is from... yeah, let's turn it down. I was too loud. I was from Monster Hunter. Wonder Boy in Monster King of fucking names, man. Damn these names. At least it isn't as horrendous as that name. Oh look! The analytics showed up, finally! After 1 minute and 40 seconds. Bravo, YouTube! So I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna see how long it takes for it to get to you. So I'm gonna say something about Praetor here. He says a Euden Chronicle Rising is surprisingly addictive. Really? Wow. This is fucking ridiculous. So whenever I say, like, see you next time, after the stream is over, I leave, I turn the computer off or something, I turn the stream off, I go away, and you still get, like, you get all of that, like, 30 or 40 seconds later. Jesus Christ. So how are you guys? How are you guys today? Welcome to the Q&A. Anything relevant? And I had something planned right away. Well, I guess we should talk about the state of play that I didn't give two shits about. The state of play was like, I got nothing to say, man. I watched it expecting Konami to show up and announce a release date for the Suikoden remasters. That didn't happen because I knew it. Konami usually prefers to do that on the Nintendo Direct. I don't know when's the next Nintendo Direct, but I figured they were gonna do that. I figured that's what they're gonna do. Like, they're not gonna announce anything on PlayStation. Fuck PlayStation, right? Konami's gonna be like, no, I'm just gonna throw my AAA politicized Silent Hill 2 remake, and that's it. Suikoden remasters, now I'm gonna save that for the Nintendo Direct. Or maybe they're trying to, like, balance things out. Like, okay, Sony, I'll give you this. Nintendo, I'll give you this, right? Maybe. But we still don't have a release date for those damn Suikoden remasters. That's all I cared about. Everything else has a release date, or something like a release date. Like East 10, released during the fall. When exactly, we don't know. Trails Through Daybreak, coming out in like a month. Megami Tensei Vengeance in like 15 days or a week from now. What else? The Monster Hunter Stories Remaster, coming out in like 10 days, I think. So, What else do we care about when it comes to JRPGs? What else do we JRPG gamers care about? A lot of you watched the State of Play, and I watched it too, and I was like, this has been a fucking colossal waste of my time. Sure, there was these new open world action RPGs that look freaking impressive, taking place in Japan or China or whatever, you know. I don't really care that much about them. Someone reached out to me on an email saying, hey, this new game is coming out. These new, Where Winds Meet is coming to PlayStation 5. Someone reached out and I was like, hey, we're honored to be featuring the PlayStation State of Play event today as our title Where Winds Meet will be coming to PlayStation 5. And that's like, okay, dude, thanks for letting me know. I watched the fucking show. What do you want from me? A review code? You want me to review the game, to talk about the game? You want to talk business? No, that's like, hey, our game was just announced. Anyway. So, what else? Astrobot's getting a sequel. We care so much about that game, right? I like the first one. I never finished it. I completed a few stages and gave up. I was like, hey, it's a good game, but nah. It has a lot of personality. That's what I liked about that game. Astrobot, the first one. Playroom. I just couldn't care less about the rest of the show. Do you guys care about something? Like, I saw half of the things that I saw were fucking woke, or things that I just don't really care about. Like the Marvel game, PvP or something. First game they show, they spent like the first 15-20 minutes of it just talking about it. I had to click away several times. And like 5 minutes later I came back and I was like, is it over? No, it's still going. Like, I don't really give a shit about a fucking robot with pronouns and a bunch of cast of characters in a Fortnite level of gameplay mechanics. Like, who cares? I don't care, Sony. Yeah, it was a disappointment for RP gamers. For people who are into modern AAA games, I guess it was cool. It was relevant, right? God of War coming to PC and whatnot. Like, I don't give a shit about that. An update on the Silent Hill 2 remake that looks fucking horrible. With DEI bullshit already. And it's been confirmed that Sweet Baby is there, you know. Like this. Behind the Silent Hill 2 remake. But yeah, people who care about modern AAA games, the show was relevant. But for people like you guys and me, who only care mostly about JRPGs or maybe indies or maybe AA games, you know, this wasn't a show for us, unfortunately. So when's the next Nintendo Direct? I'm kind of more interested in the Nintendo Direct. I get the feeling Konami is gonna say something, and Konami is gonna finally go out and say Suikoden Remasters coming next July with wokenized translations, modern translations for modern audiences. Alright, on to your goddamn questions. I know Trails Through Daybreak will release a demo. You bet your ass I'll try my best to stream it. I can't promise anything because shit happens, you know me. This channel shouldn't be called Erick Landon RPG. It should be called Erick Murphy RPG, because I'm Murphy. Murphy's Law, ever heard that? Anyway, so it comes out next Thursday, so I'll probably stream the demo of Trails Through Daybreak. So let's see what happens. I'm excited for it. I'm very excited for it. Can't wait. What else? Have you heard about the Dragon Quest remakes? No, nothing of the sort. No, nothing. Same. I was expecting Square Enix to say something about the Dragon Quest 3 remake. They said nothing. Something tells me they will also say something about it in the Nintendo Direct. It's not a rumor or a leak or anything, you know, it's just what I believe. Okay? What's up with the music, man? Landstalker? Hey, Rosland. Do you think that the Monster Hunter game that you mentioned will hurt Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance? No, I don't think so. This is this guy, right? Or the Witch in the 100? The Witch in the 100 Knight. So no, I don't think it will hurt Shin Megami Tensei whatsoever, and I'll tell you why. Because Monster Hunter is a huge franchise, but Monster Hunter Stories is pretty much a hidden gem or something like that. I remember when the second game came out a couple of years ago, most people didn't give a damn about it because it was a turn-based RPG, kind of Pokemon-like. And if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you may or may not be also a Pokemon fan or something like that, or a turn-based RPG fan, but sure, Monster Hunter is an RPG franchise. They're open-world RPGs, but they focus on monster hunting, right? So I'm just trying to say that these are two very different audiences. It's as if they released, I don't know, a God of War turn-based RPG. Here's a perfect example. You know the franchise Halo, right? Halo has been going on forever, since the early 2000s with the original Xbox. And I remember when they released this little strategy spin-off called, I think it was called Halo Wars. I could be wrong though. I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Nobody gave a damn about it. And were they trying to cater to Halo fans? No, I mean, you got your first-person shooter, and now you got your strategy game. Come on, you got your Call of Duty and your StarCraft. I mean, it's like, sure, I do believe there are people who like both games, right? Both series, both genres. But when it comes to Halo and Halo Wars, I mean, it's got a lot of fans. I think most Halo fans did not play Halo Wars, so whatever the fuck its name is. So I think it's the same case for Monster Hunter. Like, a lot of Monster Hunter fans won't give a damn. Some will do, but most of them won't give a rat's ass about Monster Hunter Stories 1 or 2. So I don't think it's gonna hurt Shin Megami Tensei at all. I think Monster Hunter Stories 1 is going to be just kind of there, and it'll eventually become a hidden gem, just like the original version. The original version, the 3DS, nobody knew about it. It's a hidden gem. It's an obscure game. And now it's been being remastered or remade or whatever, you know. People will care about it for a short period of time, and then it will become a hidden gem again. That's what I think is gonna happen. Thank you, Nemo Propaganda. He says, I'm playing Trails in the Sky for the first time already. Finished Cold Steel games. Any advice for Sky? I keep getting lost so far. It's hard to jump from Cold Steel. You did it backwards, man. You should have started with Sky and then with Cold Steel. Cold Steel is a modern franchise, you know, it's a modern series. They have a lot of quality of life features, and Sky is just... How are you playing it, on PC? On Steam? It's not gonna have the same quality of life features, you know. It's gonna be... I got lost all the time too. The navigation, the exploration, the overworld, I mean, has this weird ass camera, kind of like the old Grandia games, and you get lost. You're playing it on PC, okay, yeah, it's... When it comes to exploration, I think it's the same on the PSP. You know, yeah, I got lost so many times too, and I got so pissed off. Sky is a game people need to be patient with. Very, very patient. And don't forget, a lot of influencers, for some reason, and people on the internet have tried to destroy its reputation. It's like Persona 3. You know, for a long time, it was a very beloved game. Everybody liked it. Everybody recommended the game. But nowadays, I feel like a lot of people shit on it and hate on it, just for whatever reason. I don't know why. Probably because maybe that's their way to exact pressure on Falcom to remaster the damn game. And well, I kind of support that, just not in that way. So don't get influenced. The best advice I can give you is don't get influenced by those people. Or even don't get influenced by me, who I'm a massive fan. I'm a massive fan of the game. So just take everything with a grain of salt, play the game, and you judge it for yourself. And about getting lost, best thing I can give you, man, is be patient with the game. It is very rewarding. It's one of those games. It's a slow burn. Okay, it's a really slow burn. The first 10... Oh, you're playing it on hard. I know you. You're probably playing this game on hard and doing side quests, right, man? It's gonna take you like 20 hours or probably more to really feel like the game's finally starting. Okay, it takes a while, but it's worth it. And I will say this, Sky 1 is not one of the best Trails game. Despite being a big fan of the game, I don't think it's one of the best Trails games. The second chapter is the best one. But you need to play the first one first, right? It's like Cold Steel. I don't know, you said that you beat the Cold Steel saga all 5 games? Well, the first one I always felt it was just slow. Sure, it's got some quality of life features, but the first one is just slow. As a matter of fact, you get Reen playing high school simulator, well, military school simulator, and getting to know each other, and it's a very slow game, man. But the second one, Trails of Cold Steel 2, well, you need to play the first one first, right? Oh wait, that video, huh? Yeah, that's been a video that I started planning about 2 years ago, but I haven't played it. The top 50 final boss themes. I can't do it because I'm not gonna make a single penny out of it. Most of my favorite final boss themes, or the ones that are like should be in the list, like they have to be there. Have copyright. I can't use them. One Winged Angel, I can't use it. The Nier final boss theme, can't use it. Some of my favorite themes of all time, final boss themes, are unusual. I'm gonna get a copyright claim. I was thinking the other day, I don't know when was this, about a month ago, that maybe I should do some kind of fan funding project about that video, but it just feels weird, to have people fund that video. I mean, it's just, I don't know. But anyway, I'd love to do it, but I don't think I ever will because of the copyright bullshit. It will be cool if the Dragon Quest HD 2D leak is true. Apparently, it will be the Loto trilogy. What? I'm not the biggest Dragon Quest fan, so I don't know what the Loto trilogy is. You're gonna have to clear that out for me. Are you interested, or have you heard of Reynotis? It's by Nis America. It's coming out during the fall, autumn this year. No release date yet. I'm interested, but I have my reservations. It looks kind of colorful, if you catch my meaning. There was that one rumor that the next Direct will have multiple JRPGs. You see? Mark my words, people. Konami will announce the remasters in the Nintendo Direct. When's the next Nintendo Direct? Has anybody answered that? If they did, sorry. Thank you, anybody. Anybody? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Been a while, man. Thanks for the donation. What's your favorite final boss? I don't think I have one. I was going to make a top 10 a long time ago, but I couldn't decide. I've beaten so many JRPGs in my life that it's so hard to decide. I think some of my favorites, even though they are a bit frustrating, are the ones in Odin Sphere. Chrono Cross. Well, okay, Chrono Cross has two final bosses. Okay, the first one is one of my favorites. The second one where you have to play the song in order, fuck that final boss. One of the worst. I love Chrono Cross, but one of the worst final bosses of all time. One of the most frustrating of them all. But the first one, no spoilers, I fucking love that boss fight. Always looking forward to that boss fight on every playthrough. There are others that are just as frustrating, like some of my favorite JRPGs of all time. Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. Wow, you guys know me. Die-hard fan, love it passionately, but goddamn the final boss. It's a 2 stages final boss, and the first one is one of the absolute worst, if not the worst final boss ever. The second one, the second stage, the second form, that's okay. That's an okay boss fight. Pretty damn hard, but it feels more like an actual boss fight. But the first part, fuck it to fucking pieces, man. Fuck that first form. It's not really a form, but I can't explain it to you guys, okay? I will need to spoil the heck out of you. No spoiler, let's just say it's horrendous. What else? Oh man. Instead of saying what are the best final bosses of all time, I'm focusing on the worst. Anyway, those are some of the worst. Blue Dragon, fuck the final boss. Blue Dragon, oh man. Anyway, some of the best ones. Yeah, the ones in Odin Sphere are frustrating as hell, but they're so fun. They're 5, 1 per character. I don't know why I'm thinking of Eternal Poison, the true final boss. It's a really fun boss fight with all the protagonists, you know. Ooh, sorry for the spoiler, but Yeah, that's a cool boss fight, final boss fight. Some of the Tales games have... The Tales games are a mixed bag. You know, some of them have like really disappointing boss fights, and others are like really epic. I don't know, Exilia final boss was pretty epic. What else? Berseria, I just beat Berseria for the second time a few weeks ago. And the final boss is epic because of Velvet, right? I mean, you spend the entire game trying to get to that specific point, and then you get to that point, and because you know how many JRPGs are like, they're about, including a lot of the Tales games, right? That you spend the entire adventure, or a big part of the adventure, you know, trying to get to that point, and you get to that point, but no, that was not the final boss, and now it's something else. The game is about something else, new plot, new antagonist, blah blah blah, and you're like, okay. That's okay, nothing against that, you know, but it was just better with Velvet and Tales of Berseria, you know. You spend the entire fucking game, you know, like, oh, I want to kill this guy, I want to fight this guy, and then you fight that guy as the final boss, and it's awesome. Love it, man. One of my favorite final boss themes of all time. Final boss battles of all time. The Grandia series, you know, also the second one. Fighting the final boss was epic. Not the first one. The first one was kind of okay-ish, you know. And then Grandia 3, I love the game, but that final boss was terrible. It's epic and the music is epic. It's kind of weird, but fuck that guy. Some of the Ys games have epic final bosses. But I don't remember the final boss on Ys 9. I don't remember I just don't. What else? Ys 8 had a pretty epic boss fight. Not one of the most epic boss fights, and it was kind of annoying because there's some platforming involved, right? You gotta jump around, and yeah, it was kind of frustrating. It's a good final boss, but epic, but not one of the best, not one of my favorites. But yeah, some of the Ys games have epic final bosses, like the first two. The first one, really annoying boss fight, but it was, I don't know, it just felt kind of epic. The music, the atmosphere, the graphics in there, the background, I was fucking epic, man. How about the Star Ocean games? We could go on, man. We could go on forever talking about final bosses. There's a lot of them that are like really, really epic. Some of the Trails series, well, the Trails games kind of fool you. You get to a final boss that is fucking epic, man, and no, that was not the final boss. Oh, okay. And you get to another one and oh, this is it. No, that was not the final boss. So when you actually get to the actual final boss, it's still epic, it's still awesome, but it just feels like you're worn out, right? Some Trails games, you know, others are kind of like, man, I don't know. Trails from Zero and Asher, the final boss was kind of like okay at best. But Cold Steel 4, Trails of Cold Steel 4, the final boss was fucking epic, man. The 3 parties mechanic, I mean, that was fucking epic, man. One of my favorites. That's it. Let's move on. Those are some of my favorite final bosses. And I'm pretty sure I'm leaving out a lot of really good ones. Like, I'm not gonna mention every single JRPG in existence right now. Fuck the Radiata final boss. At the end. Favorite battle theme? Regular battle theme, right? Oof. What was my number 1? I made a top 50 like 4 years ago. Top 50 best regular battle themes in JRPGs. Pretty successful video. I've had a couple of fights with companies for copyright claims, but I've won every single one of them miraculously. I don't remember which one I think I put the Langrisser one. The Langrisser remake. It's not exactly a battle theme, it's more like a map battle theme, but the music sounds like a battle theme and it plays throughout the entire battlefield. And every battlefield has its own different battle music, right? So it's basically a battle theme in my opinion, but yeah, the one from Langrisser, it's called Kingdom Knight. Look it up. Check out my video, my top 50, or look it up on YouTube. You know, just type Langrisser Kingdom Knight. The remake. Okay, the original version is bonkers too on the Genesis, right? But check out the remake version of it, the one on PS4 and Switch. Man, that's my favorite battle theme of all time. I couldn't find the boss in Goat Simulator. You are the boss. You are the final boss. Have you played Hero Must Die again? No. Is that like a tower defense game, or am I confusing it with like, no, right? No, I haven't played the game. Do you think that if Persona 6 comes out next year, it could be Atlus's biggest commercial success, even surpassing Persona 3 Reload's 1 million copies sold in less than a week? Yes, definitely. Everybody knew Persona 3 Reload was a remake, and it still sold 1 million copies. A next main title that people and fans have been waiting for 7 fucking years. 8 years already. Because Persona 3 came out in 2016 in Japan first, near the end. Yes, yeah, I think Persona 6 is gonna be huge, man. Freaking huge. What would be the best RPG party of 4 characters from any RPG for you? Are you asking in terms of the type of units? Like a la Final Fantasy? Like a mage, a thief, or... Well, I mean... Well, yeah, I guess you're asking that, you know. Why? What else is there? Well, yeah, I'm kind of old school now that I think about it. I'd like to have like 2 attackers. It could be a sword master or sword guy or a tank or something like that, and then a healer and a mage. That's it. I like archers a lot, but they're usually not that great in turn-based RPGs. They're much better in strategy RPGs. They're always broken in strategy RPGs, especially the enemy archers. But I think I would prefer... Yeah, I will go with the classic... Not too classic party. Instead of having like the sword guy, the warrior, the thief, the healer, and the mage, I will take out the thief because they're usually fucking weak, and add another warrior or like a super strong warrior, some kind of tank, some kind of guy that can tank, you know, that can have a lot of HP and do a lot of damage, even if their turn comes at last, which is usually the case. You know, I will do that. But when it comes to thieves and archers in turn-based RPGs, in some they're pretty damn good. Eternal Sonata, I'm looking at you. But in most turn-based RPGs, they're not that great, usually. Yeah, for my turn-based party, my ideal turn-based party is just that, you know, the warrior, the super warrior or the tank or whatever, and the mage and the healer. Healers are always indispensable. Unless you don't need a healer because you have a crap ton of items that are really useful, or that you can use buffs and debuffs. For example, in Shin Megami Tensei, my party's always like that. In every single one of them, I at least have one character that has a lot of magic that focuses on healing or buffs or debuffs. Am I still here? Pixel Retro RD just gifted 5 memberships, so you can get some of the exclusive content on this channel. There is a lot of exclusive content, bunch of streams, videos that I've done in the past that aren't available to the public, a couple of live reviews, which is why it's called live reviews, even though it shouldn't be called that way, but I can't change the name anymore. YouTube doesn't let me change the name of the membership. It shouldn't be called live reviews. I don't do live reviews anymore. I just did a couple of them. You can have access to those. Unedited interview with the creator of Shadow Hearts. What else is there? How I make my videos. Fun stream that I did at once. Yeah, and other stuff. Who got the memberships? Melthis. Sky. Isn't that the guy from Grandia too? James Lindsay. Sweet Life of Dio Brando. Mask Cast Effect. And Ruleaf. Now your members, welcome. Thieves are super strong, broken in Fire Emblem Engage. Thieves and archers are usually broken in strategy RPGs. In most of them. Not in all of them, but in most of them. In the large majority of them, they're freaking broken. Especially if thieves can turn into assassins, right? In the Fire Emblem series, fuck man. Assassins are some of the most broken units in Fire Emblem. But Engage, I couldn't care less about that game. Fuck that game. Thank you, Pixel Retro, once again. Did you recommend Tokyo Xanadu? Yeah, I've covered the game several times in this channel, but I often say that I didn't finish it because of the idle bullshit. The story kind of let me down at some point, but it's still a good game, guys. You know, really good game. Great controls, great combat. It's a really good game. The older Mega 10 games were review bombed on Metacritic. Hence why games like Devil Survivor, Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2, Devil Survivor games have low scores on the site. I didn't know that. Is there any reason? Yeah, they do have a really low scores. And I was going to make a point about that in my compilation from last Tuesday. I didn't though. But I did notice that they have really low scores. Digital Devil Saga, no, I didn't notice. But Devil Survivor 1 and 2, the user scores are so low. Is there a reason why? Why were they review bombed? Digital Devil Saga 1 and 2 are masterpieces? Okay. I mean, to each their own, right? I like the games, I think they're really good games, but no, I don't think they're a masterpiece. They're so annoying to play and so difficult. The reason for the review bombings as well as who did it are both unknown. That's weird, right? I mean, why will they... Usually with review bombs it's because there's something political about it. The games were too woke or they weren't woke enough, right? That's mostly the reason, or because the developer or the publisher did something that pissed off the fans and review bombs. But why will they review bombs those games? What's Digital Devil Saga, maybe because of the cannibalism themes, but Devil Survivor 1 and 2? Like, why? Right? It's weird. Sorry, Melfis, the Loto trilogy for the Erick trilogy is the original 3 Dragon Quest games. So, okay, they announced Dragon Quest 3, the remake, like 2 years ago, right? And we haven't heard anything about it. Maybe they're waiting that. Maybe they're waiting to give the world a surprise. Like, here, hey, Dragon Quest 12 is going to be delayed because everybody died or quit. And now, here are the remakes of the first 3 games. Okay, I forgive you, Square Enix, for delaying Dragon Quest 12 if you give us that. Thank you, Hooflong. Any thoughts on Enchanted Arms? That's a good game. It's no masterpiece, but it's good. It has a couple of annoying characters. Even though the most annoying character in the game is voiced by Liam O'Brien. You should forgive him for that. And he's not really, I mean, he doesn't last long. He just joins the party at the beginning during the first couple of hours and then he's gone for good. But the other, I don't want to spoil anything, but you know how there's 3 friends at the beginning, right? And the main character, this kind of queer-ish character, and then the other guy, the guy with blue clothes and like short hair and dark short hair. Fuck that guy, he was so annoying, man. The game also was criticized because of its voice acting, which is, for some characters is really good and others is really bad. The battle system is amazing, though it's kind of weird that From Software developed that game and for the most part it's easy as hell. You win no matter what you do. And I'm serious, but there are some boss battles that are like challenging. And near the end of the game it picks up in difficulty. It starts getting challenging and finally it's a balanced game, but 80% of the game it's a walk in the park, that game. At least it was for me. I've heard other people saying that it was hard for them from the start. For some reason it wasn't for me. But yeah, the graphics for its time were cool. The music is forgettable at best. The character design is interesting. The female lead is wow. She's not only gorgeous, she's kind of sexy. And yeah, it's a good game, man. It's not one of the best PS3, Xbox 360 RPGs. No, it's not. Not even top 10. But it's there. It's a good game. Well, top 10 360 JRPGs, yeah, it's probably there. Maybe, yeah. Not in the first places, but yeah, but PS3 is just not. It's a good game, though. In a tier list, that will be a B. Yeah. I put it on the B. When I did my tier list for PS3 and 360, it was on the B. Right? Which is the equivalent of 7.5 out of 10, maybe. Maybe 8. Right? Anyway, thanks for the donation again. Devil Survivor games had 78, 79. It's not as high as I've ranked them, but they're not too low. Well, I don't know. When I was doing the compilation this week, I looked it up and the scores were pretty low. The user scores or the critic scores, I don't remember which ones. They were pretty low. Maybe they went up in this week. Thank you, Peppy Poe. He says, I just want to say that I really enjoy your Q&As and latest streams. Keep it up. Great, authentic content. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man. You're playing Dragon Quest XI for the first time? Okay. Did you sell your PS4? No, it's still there. You can't see it because it's dark. But it's still there. No, it's too dark. Like right here. This right here. This is the PS4. This. It's my PS4. I didn't sell it. No way. I will never sell my PS4 because it was a gift from a fan. And it was a big deal when he sent it. That was like 5 years ago. And I'll never forget that, man. I can't bring myself to ever sell that console. Any good Vita and PSP RPGs? I've done several videos on those consoles, man. Check those out. Tactics Ogre has a really good story, but yeah, it's a very difficult game. Persona 4, you're playing the vanilla version of Persona 4. Okay. Do you still have your PSP? Yes, I do. I still have it. Have you watched or heard about the Scaflone anime? Of course, man, I grew up with it. Loved it. Not the biggest fan of it, but I loved it. I think I have it. I have a pirated bootleg version of it. Very ethical, Eric, very cool. What are you talking about? At least the PS5 fan is there. Absolutely. Always. It's gotta be there. Hero Must Die Again is a turn-based RPG. Okay. Let me look it up. I don't know that game. Isn't that an anime? Hero Must Die. There's 2 games, right? Okay. Yeah, it's a turn-based RPG. Switch, PS4, Windows, PS Vita. Some PS Vita. It didn't come out, that version probably stayed in Japan. And I'm guessing again it's like the remaster of it. Yeah, I'm looking at it. It looks like a Kemco RPG, man. It's probably not by Kemco, but it totally looks like a Kemco RPG. Maybe the original version looks like a Kemco RPG, but this is a remake, apparently. Okay. Never heard of this game, man. Thanks for bringing this game to my attention. That's cool. What is the game that I must play for you? Oh, there's like a million of those, man. Do you play RPGs that aren't made by the Japanese people? Yeah. I've played and covered a shit ton of indie RPGs and even some Western RPGs in this channel. Hey, Metal Wolf. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for the donation on PayPal the other day. Thanks a lot, man. That was great. Now, successfully ignored. I have to successfully ignore those ideas. Those are the types of generic ideas everybody is doing, and those are the type of generic ideas I want to stay away from. I've done a lot of videos that are like very similar to those, so there's just no point, man, in making no way. Leave it to the 10,000 generic channels who only steal ideas and have no ideas of their own. There's a Devil Children game in which Metacritic has 62 at Metascore but 88 of user scores. That's weird. How many people in the user scores? Sometimes some scores are really high and there's only like 10 people. Based on 10 people. Even low scores. Like 5 out of 10 based on 5 people. There are some games that are not in Metacritic. Wild Arms 2 is not there. There's no Metacritic for Wild Arms 2. What the heck? What the heck? You're welcome, Donsk. Donsk. Glad you became a fan of the series, man. Did you play the Xbox 360 or PS3 version of Enchanted Arms? PS3. Wait. I mean, the one that I played and finished is the PS3 version, but I think I did play a bit of the 360 version. I'm just not entirely sure why. Are there any major differences between both versions that I should know about? SMT9 literally has a 9.8 Metacritic user scores thanks to 6 ratings. Isn't that considered as one of the worst in the series? Never came out of Japan, exclusive to the original Xbox. I don't know much about it, I just know that the soundtrack is bonkers, as always. Hero Must Die Again, come back to life, super leveled and have 5 days to get your affairs in order, but you get weaker as the game goes on. That's interesting, that's backwards. Instead of getting stronger throughout the adventure, you get weaker, which makes it stupidly hard near the end, right? Final boss is probably wow. I don't know that game, guys. Thanks for bringing the game to my attention. I'll look it up later if I remember. You remember Jet Force Gemini? Yeah, I know the game. On the 64. I never played it because it's not my type of game. I know people who are big fans of it. You're downloading Drakengard 3 on your PS3? Great. I love that game. You probably already know how I feel about it. I think it's a great game. One of these days, maybe in the future, I will probably do an episode based on it because I just love that fucking game so much. But yeah, be warned, has some problems. Okay, the dragon missions suck bananas, man, big time. And there's a lot of frame rate issues with the game. It was a technical flop, that game. But it's a great game nonetheless. Great characters, great story, great visuals. Visuals, I mean, in terms of art style and graphics, not in technical departments. How many platinum trophies of RPGs do you have? I have no clue, man. I couldn't care less about trophies. Every now and then they pop up in my screen. Oh, you got a trophy. Like, I don't give a shit about trophies. The Xbox 360 version ran better and the PS3 version had forced motion controls in the minigames. Enchanted Arms? I didn't know that. That doesn't sound like a big deal to me. Is 6 the best rated game by user score, though it only has about 10% of the rates than for Is 8, so hard to compare. Is 6 the Ark of Napishtim? Which version? PS2 or PSP or Steam or all of them? Whatever the case, look, it's a really good game, but I don't think it should be scored that high. It's not one of the best Ys games in my opinion, but maybe people rank it so high because it's incredibly difficult, one of the hardest in the series. But it's a good game though. PS2 version, yeah, that's the one that I played. Even though the one that I own is the PSP version. I would love to trade my PSP version for the PS2 version. But yeah, it's a great game. But, like, I don't know, 9 out of 10? No. 8 at most. My biggest problem with the Ark of Napishtim is that you gotta backtrack a lot. A lot. You gotta manually exit the dungeons and the areas and go back, and 8.9. To each their own, right? But no, man, that's too high for a game like that. Is that the user score? Why are we even talking about Metacritic? That website fucking sucks. Is Origin needs a remake? Come on, man, it's been remastered 10,000 times already. No, it's okay. I think it's okay as it is. Doesn't need a remake. It's fine as it is. It's fucking perfect. 7.2 is Metascore. That's more accurate, but I will give it an 8. 7.8, maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about scores, though. Maybe I should go... should start reviewing games and adding scores to them. What are we listening to? Black Rock Shooter? Okay, that's a cool song. So, PS3 stores still sell Suikoden 1, 2, 3, and 4. It isn't selling Tales of Exilia 1 and 2 anymore. They were delisted. But yeah, Suikoden 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why? Don't ask me why. I don't understand why 5 isn't there. 5 should be there, but Konami. That's Konami logic for you. Are you planning on replaying Dragon Age Inquisition on PS4 Pro with boost mode, which fixes the frame rate issues entirely? No. These 6 hours are gonna pitch the backtrack. You like backtracking? Okay, to each their own. You know, there's a fan for everything. You know. I don't like backtracking. Tactical games like Fire Emblem or Devil Survivor. Wow. You know, Devil Survivor is probably on my top. It is definitely on my top 5 favorite strategy RPGs of all time. So, and well, you're making me compare 2 games against an entire franchise. I don't know, man. I think Devil Survivor is just up there. I think I prefer Fire Emblem, the old Fire Emblem gameplay mechanics. Storytelling and music, of course, Devil Survivor is far superior than any other Fire Emblem in existence. But when it comes to map design, the battle mechanics, right, I think I prefer Fire Emblem. I just love that. My favorite battle system of all time, man. The old Fire Emblem style. Grid-based, the triangle system, weapon system, which is non-existent anymore nowadays because some fucking imbeciles took over the series. But yeah, the Game Boy Advance games, the GameCube, Wii games, you know, Nintendo DS games, great battle mechanics, great maps, incredibly well thought out map design, layouts, you know. I love Devil Survivor, which is just as creative and original, and it's perhaps more original, but there's just something about the Fire Emblem mechanics that, I mean, I just love it, man. I love it. You can't have me, you can't... If I had to pick, like, what's my favorite, Devil Survivor 1 versus my favorite Fire Emblem, which is Path of Radiance. Surprisingly, I will probably pick Devil Survivor. Damn, that's a really hard competition, man. Fire Emblem Path of Radiance versus Devil Survivor. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Devil Survivor. But I still like the battle mechanics a little bit more in Fire Emblem. But Devil Survivor is such, you know me, I'm a diehard fan. It's one of my top 10 favorite video games of all time. Love it passionately. Have you played chill and relaxing games like Dave the Diver? No. Is there a JRPG that have a protagonist that are not teenagers? There's plenty of those, man. We've talked about that in previous Q&As, like JRPGs with adult protagonists. Speaking about Aya Bree will be a lesbian girl boss if it was remade. Probably she will be, Square Enix will make her woke. But Aya Bree, that's a good example. That's a JRPG with an adult protagonist. Shadow Hearts 1 and 2, Lost Odyssey, the original Nier Gestalt, you know, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy fucking 7, Final Fantasy 16. I don't recommend it, but the guy's an adult. No, Drakengard 3. How old are the main characters in Drakengard 1, 2, and 3? Zero doesn't look like your 17-year-old girl, you know, I mean, yeah. She's probably an adult, obviously. There's a lot of them, man. They will make Aya Bree look like a man. Probably. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Best JRPG YouTuber there is. Thank you, Jordan Young. Many praises SMT's Strange Journey. I don't know why they praise it, but I think it's a good game. It's just not one of the best. In my opinion, it's one of the worst SMT games I've played, but it's still great. I just couldn't finish it, man. The dungeons are way too long. And random encounters, man, and the puzzles killed it for me. It's a great game, though. I think most people praise it because for the longest time it was one of the most criticized Shin Megami Tensei games, and all the fans have tried to save its reputation, I guess. And also because the story, speaking about JRPGs with adults, that's one with adults, and the story is more adult-oriented. The story is freaking untouchable in that game. It's amazing, right? But yeah, the gameplay kind of ruined it for me. The characters in Alondra are adults. Some of them. Remember, Alondra is a game where the protagonist is not an adult. He's just a teenager. But some of the characters in there are adults. Some are young kids. I mean, yeah. What's up with that question, man? Is there a JRPG for you that is not a JRPG? I made a video about that. It's called Top 10 JRPGs that are not really RPGs. Not really. I still consider most of them as JRPGs, but yeah. Anyway, so the best example I can give you is The Legend of Zelda. A lot of people consider those games as RPGs, I just don't. But I haven't played the newer ones, Breath of the Wild and the other one, Tears of the Kingdom. Haven't played those, but I did play Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, A Link to the Past, Link's Awakening, the original 2 games, and I see the RPG elements, but not what I will call an RPG though. But that's just my opinion. Paper Mario has only adults. Were you aware that the Ergo Proxy was an original anime not based on anything? Yeah, I know that. By the same creator of Ghost in the Shell, which was never based on an anime either. Now I just opened the Pandora's box by mentioning The Legend of Zelda. You want to get into the Legend of Zelda discussion? Bring it on. I mean, it's not a fact. It's not like I'm saying Zelda is objectively not an RPG. No, it's just my opinion, right? Subjectively speaking, it's not an RPG. But it's open for debate. A lot of people consider those games as RPGs. That's great. I consider a lot of RPGs that don't have as many RPG elements as Zelda as RPGs, right? So it's a fun discussion. Zelda is a fun discussion because it's one of those series that are like, maybe some games are RPGs, maybe the others are not, but it's that one series. I think the creators should just come out and say something, you know. I think the developers, the creators should come out and say, you know what, people, this is an RPG series, I'm the creator, so shut the fuck up. Problem solved. But in 30 plus years, they haven't said that. Almost 40 years. 40 years. And they don't care about clarifying nothing. I'll just let people figure it out. Then the Kirby Clash games will be action RPGs too. I think I played one and I streamed one, which was kind of like a free-to-play game. I downloaded it for free and it was like boss battle. It's a boss rush game, right? Are those the Kirby Clash games? No, right? I don't know. What was the name of that game? Kirby something, you know, Super Kirby Clash. Yeah, free-to-play. Boss battles galore in 2D. It's a fun game, but like every single free-to-play game, you play it for like 5, 6, 7 times and then you get bored because you go nowhere, man. You don't finish it. There's no end to it. It's boring. I say free-to-play games are always like that for me. You know, they're always like I play them for a few occasions and then I quit forever and never go back to them. Plants vs. Zombies 2. I downloaded it and I was like, oh, this is free-to-play. Oh my god, it's a fucking gacha game. I still played it and liked it, but I never finished it. I think I completed like 2 worlds and gave up. Nothing made me go back to it. I think the creator did say it was not an RPG. Skycatcher, okay, so where's the quote? I'm waiting. Who created The Legend of Zelda? Was it Miyamoto? let's wait while we... Miyamoto, yeah. I think this gets into the problem of the definition of RPG, but personally I think of Zelda as a real-time adventure game. There you go! From the mouth of Miyamoto himself, Zelda is officially not an RPG franchise. I'm not gonna argue with its creator. No fucking way. But I would like him to say, like, to go by title, you know, not just the overall series. But if he said that, no questions asked, right? Still, people can have opinions, right? If a Zelda game feels like an RPG, then it's an RPG to them, right? I respect that, but if Miyamoto, the creator, says it's not, then it's just not. What? Besides the Cold Steel, what? Except from Cold Steel, is there other JRPG with romance systems that you like? The Persona series. Can't think of anything better than that. What else is there? The Sakura Wars games. Great romance simulators. I really like both of them. I really like the romance shenanigans and options and the funny bits of it. Not shenanigans, I mean like the mechanics, the decision-making process, you know. The bonding system. Pretty damn good. The hell is this? Xenosaga? Xenosaga Episode 2, huh? That's great music. Thank you. Thanks again, Hooflong. Any thoughts on God of War's Future Past? That's a game that I haven't reviewed in a while. I used to cover that game every now and then. It's been featuring a crap ton of my videos. Strategy RPG on PS4, PS Vita, and PS and Switch. The Switch version seems to be the definitive edition of it. I've never played it. I played the PS Vita and the PS4 version. I own the PS4 version. It's a really good game, but it's quite difficult, and even if you play it on easy, it's still very fucking challenging. It goes like Tactics Ogre near the end, like almost freaking impossible. There's a job system, but it isn't like in Tactics Ogre. More like you can equip abilities from multiple jobs in that game. The graphics are gorgeous. The graphics, the visuals are phenomenal in that game. I love the art style. I love the character design. Good fan service, even though some characters look beautiful while others look kind of deformed-ish, you know. I didn't find some of the girls that good looking, you know, but others are like, you're drooling at the protagonist Kaguya, Princess Kaguya. Yeah, it's a good game, man, but it's not like, wow, this is one of the most best strategy RPG. No, it's not. On a tier list, it will be a B. Also a B. Maybe B plus. B. And the other question, have you ever considered or heard of a Japan-only series called Farland? No. It was mostly on the NEC, PCs in Japan, the MSX, their fan translations. Never heard of those. Farland, huh? Never heard of those, man. I heard of a lot of JRPG series that never came out of Japan from the early 90s. Late 80s also, but never heard of Farland. So, what franchise went from mature to childish in your opinion? Fire Emblem. Mario games have always been for kids. Yeah, I can't think of a single Mario game that has some adult stuff in it. Maybe some references like the RPGs, right? Some stuff here and there, but is there a single Mario game with a teen rating? Every single Mario game in existence, even Super Mario, even the RPGs have been all E rated. For everyone, E for everyone, right? Not teen. There's gotta be one. There's gotta be that one Mario game with a teen rating. I'm pretty sure. What JRPG trilogy do I really rank high? There's maybe not trilogies, but I did a tier list on JRPG series a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago. Check it out. Why in the name of fuck there isn't a Tales of Grace SF port for Xbox Series or PC? You know, I have an upcoming video about some Tales games. And if you watch it, some things will be clarified for you when it comes to ports. What about some sexy games? We have not talked about them in this week. Any new ones? I don't know, man. Sexy games? What do you mean? What's a sexy game in your opinion? Because there's a lot of RPGs with a lot of sexiness, like Stellar Blade, Nier Automata, Compile Hard games, 9 out of 10 RPGs have sexiness. What are you talking about? What's a sexy game? Like a visual novel or like a Senran Kagura type of game? Do you think turn-based RPGs will become mainstream again? Or will JRPGs be now like action-based RPGs like Final Fantasy XVI? No, I think turn-based is going to continue being alive, and it's still kind of mainstream. Like I keep saying, two of the biggest ones, Dragon Quest XI and Persona, are still turn-based, and those are two of the biggest JRPG series nowadays. So that's a good sign, right? And there are others that have sold millions, like the Yakuza games, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. Turn-based is still mainstream. It's not as mainstream as action RPG open world games, right? But they're still mainstream, in my opinion, and I think they will continue being mainstream. Just not the biggest mainstream genre of RPGs. That's still action, unfortunately, but turn-based are still pretty damn big, in my opinion. Which game would you consider as a critical part of your formative years as a JRPG fan? Some of my favorites, Chrono Cross, Super Mario RPG. But I gotta go back to the early days, right? I can't just say Devil Survivor. I played that game like 10 years ago for the first time, so probably less. So it doesn't count. Like my formative years, my initial years, yeah, Final Fantasy Legend 2 on the Game Boy, which was my first RPG ever. Super Mario RPG, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 7, Chrono Trigger. Those were some of the first ones that I ever played. Isn't it ironic that 2000 Square Enix had 6 mainline Final Fantasy games in a row? Why do you think it's ironic? Wasn't there a sex joke in the original Super Mario RPG? Yeah, I think... I don't know. The most funny scene in Mario RPG I remember is sex-related, is when you go to Peach's room and you find something that she doesn't want you to see, which I assume it's her underwear, and then her maid tells you, hey, don't look there, don't do that. But no, what? That's the sex joke you're referring to. The video of underrated games is a recap, right? Yeah, pretty much one of those compilations that I do that are like 1 hour long, and I grab clips from previous videos. Yeah, if that's what you mean by a recap, then yes. It's a compilation of clips. Genshin Impact is turn-based? I didn't know that. I thought for sure Genshin Impact was an action RPG. See, I don't know anything about Genshin Impact except the sexy looking girls. But I don't know anything about it. Oh, there, you were mistaken. So Honkai Star Rail. Okay, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I was like, Genshin Impact is action. I'm pretty sure. I haven't played Honkai Star Rail, but the art style looks great. But I'm not interested in that game. If you will marry one of the waifus in JRPGs, who would it be? I don't know, man. Oh, man. I have no idea. If you had to guess how many hours do you think you have spent gaming in your entire life? You're easily 10,000 hours? Me, probably more. 1 million hours, maybe. 200,000 hours. Frequent female nudity. That's what you mean by sexy games? Like, I don't know any... You mean hentai games, basically. All I know is that the visual novel Fate Stay Night is being remastered on the Switch, and of course they're going to remove all the nudity from the original hentai visual novel. Do you think Falcom will take a little risk and start a new IP? We talked about that in the previous Q&A. I have a clip about that coming out next week. You just watched my East Origin stream? Like the full playthrough? There's like 5 or 6 parts, right? And you weren't excited about the big amount of use to bullet hell attacks? What do you mean I picked Unica? I did the full playthrough with Unica. Well, there was a part where I played as Hugo. I think it was near the end, after I beat the game with Unica. In the last part, if I remember correctly, that was 5 years ago, man. You were talking about the bosses. I just believe that when bosses shoot bullets at you, they're trying to make them much harder. It's a cheap way to make your boss harder than normal. You know, how do I make it? Like, I'm not saying it's lack of creativity. I'm just saying that why would you do that? It's just to increase the difficulty of the boss, and it's cheap. It's a cheap way to increase the difficulty. That's all I'm saying, and it's frustrating, you know. But what type of attacks I like? I don't know. I like a variety in attacks. I don't want the bosses to do the exact same patterns over and over again. It becomes tedious and repetitive, right? But yeah, bullet hell, you know, no man, like jumping around, evading, and it's just, I'm not that fast. I'm not that great of a player. I kind of suck at action games, so that's why I hate that cheapness in difficulty. This is Star Ocean, right? Star Ocean 4, like the wind, battle theme. Hey, what's up, Michael? Honkai Star Rail has made over $500 million. Yeah. Made Genshin Impact more money? Yeah. AAA is dead, not mainstream anymore. So you think the future is free-to-play Chinese games? That's sad. Which JRPG do you consider to have fallen short of perfection? Fire Emblem. Now that you have a PS5, would you consider playing Square Enix's Forspoken? Never. No fucking way. I'm never touching that game. You say you suck at action, but you're good at fighting games, right, Erick? I don't really suck at action games. I'm just not great. Let's leave it at that. I don't think I'm that bad. I don't think I suck. You know, it's just kinda. I'm average. Sometimes below average. Sometimes above average. It's usually like in the middle. I'm a mediocre action player. But fighting games, I'm the same. Well, there are some ones that are where I'm really good at, you know, but in most of them I'm average. Games as a service are the future, at least in the short term. Pretty much. We think about the Class of Heroes collection for the Switch that you streamed a few days ago. I streamed them a few weeks ago, almost a month ago. I'm not really a fan of those games, man. Not for me. They're okay. You like dungeon crawlers? They're brutally hard with some high school sim in them, you know, very small high school sim. Pick them up, I don't know, but not a fan of those games. Wuthering Waves? Never heard of it. Every time I go into the PlayStation Store on my PS5, that's the first thing that appears in there. Like Genshin Impact, Honkai Rail Stars, some free-to-play bullshit, man. I always ignore it. I go straight to the demos or to the deals. To the $5 deals. Haven't done that in a while because I had a huge backlog and I'm about to get it over with. I only have like 2 or 3 games left in my backlog, so I'm fine. But like all these year has been nothing but backlog. and some new games that I got review codes for gifts from fans. So there we go. Anyway, if you could mix on any RPG cast with any other, which two would you mix? Maybe Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. Those two arcs with Suikoden 5. Yeah, that will work. That will be great. Fire Emblem Suikoden crossover. It's never gonna happen, I know that. And I hope it never happens. Because nowadays, Konami and Intelligent Systems are gonna fuck it up badly, man. Another Tokyo fucking Mirage Idol Simulator bullshit. What's my favorite JRPG game design trends? I'm not sure I understand that. My favorite JRPG game design trends? You mean like... I don't understand. Before I answer, I'll just let you explain the question. Are you playing the demo of The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak on June 4? Yes, June 4? Oh, yeah. Wait, June 4? That's in 2 days. That's in 2 days, guys, right? Right? Is it June 4? I thought it was gonna be June 6. I'll stream it when it comes out. We need confirmation. Is it June 4? Suikoden meets a Eiyuden Chronicle. Has to be like East vs Trails. Like a fighting game in 3D. Top-down view. June the 4th. So that's in 2 days. I'm gonna have to change my plans. Damn. I'll just confirm it. Trails Through Daybreak demo. Launches on June 4. Okay. June 4. Okay. Yeah, everybody's saying June 4, so okay. Wow, I thought it was gonna be next Thursday. Okay, I'm gonna have to change my plans. So yeah, I guess you'll see me live again in 2 days. Okay. Have you changed your thoughts on time and eternity? No, and I never will. What did you think of Tokyo Mirage Battle System? Okay, I'll give you that. It's good. Okay, it's good. But it's the Fire Emblem Engage logic. I'm not gonna go out and say, oh, it's like Final Fantasy X-2 logic. Like, I'm not gonna go out and say and defend the game and say, oh yeah, the gameplay's fine, the gameplay's good, you know, fuck those games. Simple as that. How would you feel if a game including AI NPC and allows you to talk through voice? Do you think this will enhance or worst? I wouldn't do that. I don't want to talk to the games that I'm playing. So no. I don't think it's such a bad idea though, but no. We'll be talking to a robot, you know, I'm not interested in that. Do you plan to complete Final Fantasy VII Rebirth someday? I don't have it, but yeah. Once I get my hands on it, I probably will. I'll probably skip 85% of the side content though, and just focus on the main story and beat it. Like I did with the original, the first one. One of your favorite JRPG genre conventions, like their gameplay or their narratives, in essence, what makes JRPGs great? There's an entire video about that I made on my channel a long time ago. It was live. I did a video live, so you're gonna find it in the live section. It's called that, what makes a JRPG great, or what makes for a great JRPG story or battle system, right? Are there any Mexican RPG developers? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are. I know a guy, one of my friends is one of them, but he hasn't released a single RPG yet. There's a studio that did some kind of Super Mario RPG inspired game. I think it's called... has a really generic name. I forget the name. No, fuck, I forgot the name. Mariachi Legends. That would be fucking stupid, man. I forgot the name of this game. It was made by a Mexican studio. And they wanted me to try it, but on Steam. And I was like, no, I don't play on Steam. It's not gonna work on Steam. They sent a demo build on that I actually did play. It wasn't on Steam, it wasn't on PC. And it barely worked. It was like struggling and crashing, and I was like, man. So the game was released on Steam and consoles, and I asked these guys for, hey, are you still interested in me covering your game, considering you're Mexican? Oh no, we can only send you the Steam version. I can't send you the console version because that's publisher. The publishers need to deal with that, and I was like, right. So you're gonna tell me you can't reach out to your publisher and tell them to reach out to me to give me a review code for your Mexican RPG? Buck Fables? No, I've never played it. I know it's highly ranked. Do you think Persona going mainstream has somewhat ruined the franchise? No, but it will. I'm pretty sure. Persona 6, it's gonna be a thing. Check out the legendary Zoltan! Will there be a Fear and Hunger stream soon? I was just saying that I can't play games on Steam. It crashes. It doesn't work. My computer sucks for Steam. Your opinion on emulation. I'm a big supporter of emulation. I've always supported emulation. I wouldn't be here if not for emulation. I played a crap ton of JRPGs in my entire life for the past 20 years, all thanks to emulation and piracy. So I'm a big supporter on emulation. I know it hurts the industry, but the industry is fucking billionaire nowadays, so. Gen Z was all over Persona 3 Reload. Yeah, I know some dialogue were altered. The voice actors were inclusive. Some scenes were changed. I know that. I still loved it though, but yeah. Did you hear that Penny Blood is having a hard time finding a publisher? Gee, I wonder why. They should publish the game independently. Or maybe they're having a hard time because all the publishers they're offering are like, yeah, we can publish your game, but we're gonna have to alter the translation for Western audiences. And Matsuso Machida, the creator, is probably like, no, I don't want you to change my game like you motherfuckers changed Eiyuden Chronicle. I don't want that, so no. I'll publish the game. They should publish the game themselves. Find a way to do that. I know it's hard, but it's the best way to go nowadays, man. Which game is this song from? This is just the legendary Sultan. Probably music inspired by Valkyrie Profile, the original. I haven't played Harvestella and I have zero interest in playing it. What's your favorite track from any game OST? I gotta go with Dream of a Shore from Another World from Chrono Cross. Same, probably not that song in specific, but the Dead Sea theme, also known as the Tower of Gedon. That's probably my favorite theme in the game. Such an eerie, sad, nostalgic, and melancholic and dark theme. I love it. Yeah. The ending theme, I love it. I usually don't like singing in Japanese, but love it. Yeah, it's called Tiny Sticker Tale, the Mexican dev game. No, Skycatcher Gaming. That's not the game that I was talking about. If that's a Mexican game, that's cool, but I haven't played that one, and that's not the name. It's something about Night Adventure or Guardian something, or I don't even remember. It has a really generic name. Tiny Sticker Tale? That doesn't sound generic. That sounds interesting. Childish, but interesting. Haven't heard about it. I've been watching for years. Oh, you're a lurker? That's awesome. Have you played Witch Spring R? No. What the hell is that? Isn't that the new Yuri game, I think? I could be wrong though, but I think someone reached out to me on my email a few weeks ago for the game, but I wasn't interested. I was like, no, thanks. Is the PSP version the best one for Valkyrie Profile today? I will say the best version is the digital version on PS4 and PS5. I think so, which is based on the PSP version, I think. Yeah. It will be the best version to play. So... yeah. You've been watching me since 2019. Thanks, man. That's awesome. It's rare to see fans that date all the way back to those years. Most of them either stopped watching my content because they got whatever reason, and they just forgot to unsubscribe. What is the best RPG made in France? Oh no, man. There's gotta be one. I know for a fact that I played RPGs developed in France, but I just don't know. If you're French-Canadian, Astria Ascending was developed mostly by a French-Canadian studio, but an RPG from France. Oh man, there's gotta be one. Thank you, Metal Wolf. I can't think of one right now, man. But one of the best games from France of all time is A Plague Tale. Innocence and Requiem, both of them. Amazing games from France, from a French studio. Awesome games. Not RPGs, but awesome nonetheless. But I don't know, there's gotta be one. I think Edge of Eternity was made in France, I'm not sure. But it wasn't, that game is not that great. It's good, has a lot of problems. But yeah. Sorry, Metal Wolf, he asked, do you recommend the game Grand Knight's History from Vanillaware? The PSP game, it's fan translated. Yeah, I do recommend it, but it's very repetitive. You're gonna be doing the same and the same and the same. I never beat the game. I gave up. I put like 10 hours into it and I was like, this is going nowhere. And I got tired of it. But if you like, repetitive games that are campaign driven, like it's a turn-based RPG and all you do is fight through campaigns and defeat a lot of enemies in turn-based combat with barely any story, I think you're gonna like it. If that's your type of game, I do recommend it. But if it's not, you're probably gonna be like me. Fortunately, the game is free. You can only play it through emulation, so try it out, mate. It's free. Make your own decision. But yeah, it's not a waste of your time. It's a good game, but that's my opinion of it. You started watching in 2016-17? That's wow. In 2016, I was kinda inactive. I worked for like 3 months doing reviews in Spanish. Those were my last reviews in Spanish in 2016. Then I quit YouTube. And I came back until September of 2017 again. And then I turned my entire channel to English. You probably started watching back then. That's interesting. That's cool, man. You're a really old fan, officially. That's awesome. There was one in my streams the other day who claimed they had been watching my channel since the 2010 top 10, top 50 town themes that I did. In 2010, that was 14 years ago. This person claimed they've been watching me since then. That's insane, man. I was nobody back then, nobody. I had like 100 subscribers. I wasn't making actual content. But if that person says so... You started watching me in 2021. Cool. Okay. That was one of my best years. Have you heard of Resistor? Any interested in it? It's supposed to be an arcade racing RPG. No. No, I haven't heard of it. I almost confused it for Transistor by Supergiant Games, but no. Child of Light was Canadian. Yes, it was published by Ubisoft. We should be called Ubi Woke. Published by Ubi Woke. Well, that's not a woke game, thankfully. Did you ever watch any of the Persona anime? I watched a bit of the Persona 4 anime, and I was like, it's the same as the game, so no. But there was one called Persona whatever, own story, standalone, self-contained, which was pretty good, pretty decent. Weird cast of characters though. Some unusual choices in there for a Persona game, but yeah, it's a good... I just forget the name. Someone will bring it up. Yeah, I mean... Persona something, I forget the name. It's a good anime. I do recommend it. Do you think the JRPG YouTube scene is oversaturated? Very, extremely, man. I've been talking about that since last year. There's just, I don't know, for some reason a couple of years ago, 10,000 people created a YouTube channel to make the same fucking JRPG top 10 videos. It's overly saturated. That's why I'm trying to take my channel slowly into a different direction. I'm still making lists, but I want to go into the 10 things you didn't know about, you know, the podcast, continue the reviews, the streams, you know, and trying to stay away for now from top 10s and making lists as often as I did before, because it's just fucking insane, man. Insane how it's gotten overly saturated. It's not just YouTube, man. It's every form of media. Every form of entertainment out there is oversaturated with people doing the same and the same and the same and the same and copying everybody and ripping everybody off. It's just ridiculous, man. I know most of my ideas aren't what I will call like 100% original, you know, but Jesus Christ. Like a best this, that, must play this, that, must own this, that, best this, the underrated, the hidden gems, that... Man. Yes, it's oversaturated. What about Visions of Mana? I just wish that Visions of Mana, a great game, and I'm a fan of the series. Koichi Ichi directed this game, and it will be his redemption arc after the last game he directed failed. What was the last game he directed? Was it Ever Oasis? Or Ever Oasis is a great game and it didn't fail. Or did it fail in sales according to him? Anyway. Dawn of Mana. Yeah, that was a failure. That was a failure. It's not a good game. It's not bad. It's not as bad as they say, you know, but it's not good either. I do not recommend Dawn of Mana. Nope. Resistor is supposed to come out this December. Oh, so it isn't out. So no, I haven't heard about it. You've been consistent for years. I've been discovering lots of new JRPGs through your videos. My pleasure, Mask Case Effect. Is Xenosaga Trilogy a masterpiece for you? This third game is a masterpiece. The other two have a lot of issues. They're great games. I do recommend them, but I wouldn't call them a masterpiece. The third and final game, that's a masterpiece. Strongly recommended. But you gotta play the first two games to understand it. Persona Trinity Soul. Thanks, guys. That's the name of the Persona anime that I watched, which is self-contained, which I do recommend. I started watching your channel just before you moved from Canada to Mexico. That was 2020. November of 2020, that's when I moved back. From Canada to Mexico. Back to Mexico. Which new JRPG you're playing next? Trails Through Daybreak, man! Have you played any PSP game with 2 UMDs like Final Fantasy Type 0? I remember when I tried to play that game on my PSP a long time ago, and for some reason it didn't work properly, so I gave up, and I didn't play it again until the remaster on PS4, and I didn't like it. But yeah, I played, No. Apart from that game, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Every single one of them that I played has 1 UMD. No. Is there another one? Let me know. Maybe I know it, maybe I played it. Maybe I forgot about the fact that it's got 2 UMDs. Made videos about that too. There's one video that I did a couple of months ago on JRPG world building. Check it out, man. It's on this channel, not on my second channel. That's a clip I uploaded on my main channel. Every now and then I upload certain clips from these Q&As to my main channel. It's rare. Mostly everything goes to my second channel. But there's a video on the best world building. Why back to Mexico? because I was born here. And the pandemic ruined my plans in Mexico. There's a video about that. It's called I'm Coming Back to Mexico. I'm going back to Mexico, and I explain why. Check it out. It's a short video. I was watching you while I was in Canada. Yeah, I lived in Canada from May of 2019 all the way to November of 2020. A year and a half. Did you make videos while you were in England? No. I wrote my book, The Reaper's Thorn. Link in the description to my books. Available in Amazon. But no, I didn't make a single video while I lived in England. One of these days I'll go back to England. It's just really expensive to go there for someone living in Mexico. But I will. I will be back in England and I'll make videos in there. How do you see the future of JRPGs on Xbox? I see no future in... No, I'm just kidding. Well, I don't know. I think it's fine. I think most JRPGs... not most of them, but a lot of JRPGs have been released on Xbox during the past several years. You know, some of the big ones out there, you know, some of the Persona games are already there. Some of the Final Fantasy games are there, the Tales games. A lot of Bandai Namco. Bandai Namco has been supporting the Xbox for the past several years. You know, I still see the future of JRPGs mostly on Nintendo and PlayStation, but Xbox is still there. It's a good choice. But it's the console or the system with the least priority. The priority for JRPGs is often Steam, Switch, PS5. And then Xbox Series X is like the bottom of the barrel, but there's still a crap ton of JRPGs on the Xbox. So while I don't see a strong future of when it comes to JRPGs on the Xbox consoles, I still think the consoles still own a future. It's just there aren't any exclusives anymore like they were back in the Xbox and Xbox 360. I think Microsoft learned its lesson and they stayed away from exclusivity when it comes to JRPGs. Right now, I can't think of a single JRPG that's exclusive to Xbox Series X or Xbox One at least. There isn't a single one. But there's the Game Pass, and the Game Pass has been supporting JRPG content and games for the past few years. But to be honest, it's nothing big, it's nothing huge. Everybody knows, including Microsoft, including Xbox, that their consoles aren't the best home for the genre. They learned that, and they can live with that, right? So, but still, a crap ton of JRPGs are still being released on Xbox. I'm just repeating myself, you know. I don't see a big future. I don't see like, oh, JRPGs are going to start getting big on Xbox consoles. No, I think it's going to be the same. You guys are gonna get some, not all of them, but some of them. And that's it. There's still going to be support for JRPGs, just not that much. Maglam Lord. Great song, huh? The game isn't that great, though. Are you into subscription services for gaming? No. I think I paid a Nintendo Switch a long time ago just so I could play online and play the Switch emulator, but not really. Not a fan of those. Steam in 10 years be like one platform to control them all. Really? You think platforms are going to disappear and there's gonna be nothing left except Steam? I doubt it. Yuji Horii is working hard to make Dragon Quest XII worthy of Akira Toriyama and Koichi Sugiyama's posthumous work. Well, thank you, Yuji Horii. Let's just see how much control he can have over the game. But I'm convinced Dragon Quest XII is going to be full of DEI bullshit, and it's just going to be very different. Character designer is dead, musician is dead. It's just Yuji Horii left alone. You can only take one console to an island. Which one? Surprisingly, I will probably pick... I will pick the PS TV. The PS TV, man. Because I can just play a lot of emulators in that console, including RetroArch. Yeah. Yeah, it will hurt to give up my PS4/PS5 or my beloved PS2, but I will take with me to a desert island. If there's only one, the PS TV, which is the PS Vita TV. I mean, yeah. Sadly, I can't emulate PS2 on PS TV, but I can play PS1, Sega Saturn, all those retro consoles, so I will go that, just for the sake of having more variety. Because if I pick the PS4, it's just gonna be that PS4 library and some remasters here and there, right? But PS TV sounds like the best choice for me to have more variety and play a crap ton of games and RPGs from the 90s, sure, and early 2000s, but I will pick the PS TV because of that. What's the JRPG you most want to replay? Right now, I think I want to replay Chrono Cross again. Lame answer, I know that. Thank you, Sleepy Gamer. Thanks a bunch, man. Yeah, I will probably go with that one, man. I've been seeing it. Thank you, Metal Wolf. I just got your donation, sorry. Half an hour later. I don't check my phone often when I'm live in the Q&As, but thanks, Metal Wolf. I know it's you, man. Thanks a bunch for the PayPal donation, buddy. Really appreciate it. Things like this support the channel, keep it alive. In an era of blacklisting and shadow banning. Do you think Dragon Quest XI was woke? Well, you gotta consider that Dragon Quest XI was developed in 2017, released in 2018, when woke stuff wasn't that big. I don't think it was their intention. I mean, I assume you're asking this because of the character Sylvando, right? Who's gay. I don't think so. I don't think that was their intention, right? When they developed a character like that. I don't think so. No. It could be considered as such because of what's happening nowadays, right? But it was just it's a game developed in 2016, 17. There was barely anything like that, especially not in Japan. To me, a character like Sylvando is just the usual queer gay character from Japan, It's just there's been characters like him before. So, and it's not like Sylvando was made or developed to create a political point or to send a message, nothing of the sort. So, no, I mean, I don't see Dragon Quest XI as woke. How often do I go to the cinema? I don't go to the cinema anymore. Speaking about wokeness ruined cinema for me. Haven't gone to the movies in over a year, man. Why do you think the PS5's library is so inferior to prior PlayStation consoles? I don't think it's that inferior, but I think it's still kind of inferior because there aren't many games that interest me personally. And man, it's just too soon to judge the PS5. It's only been there for 3.5 years. Come on. How can you compare its library to previous games previous consoles that have been there for 10, 20, 30 years? Come on, man. It's too soon to judge the PS5's library. Remember the PS3? It was the same. Its first couple of years, the PS3 was terrible. Its library was ass. There was barely any games on it. But then it picked up. And wow, the PS3, say whatever you want, it's got an impressive library of video games in my opinion, including JRPGs. So I think it's too soon to judge the PS5. Do you think Square Enix will make Octopath Traveler 3? Well, the problem is Acquire, the company, the developer of those games, the first two games, quit Square Enix. And now it's being bought by Kadokawa Games. And they just released a game independently pretty much called Cards RPG, strategy RPG, roguelike, that I streamed a week ago. I just finished that game a few days ago, by the way. So, I think the problem is that Square Enix nowadays has the rights to the name Octopath Traveler. But they could always say, hey, Kadokawa Games, how about we partner up and develop Octopath Traveler 3? or we let this team, which now belongs to you, develop Octopath Traveler 3. I mean, they could always sort something like that out if they want the series to continue, because it's a successful series. Both games sold millions of copies worldwide. It's a really successful franchise, Octopath Traveler. So if I were Square Enix, I would just say, you know what, I'm just gonna swallow my pride and collaborate with Kadokawa Games just so we can have Acquire develop Octopath Traveler 3. I just hope they don't fucking dare hire a new studio and fuck it up with DEI bullshit, and it's just gonna be different, man. Octopath Traveler 3, not developed by Acquire. It's a guarantee it's gonna be very different, and I'm scared about the future of Octopath Traveler. I talked about this in like months ago when Acquire quit Square Enix. And I don't want to start speculating on why that happened, on why Kadokawa Games acquired Acquire. No pun intended. But, I don't know, play Octopath 1 and 2, and there's nothing woke about those games, nothing whatsoever. And we're living in this day and age, right? And Square Enix is fucking woke, so I don't know, man. I'm just speculating here. I don't know why that happened, but it's weird. Why would you it's like when Microsoft fired or shut down Tango Teamwork. They develop a successful game that's critically acclaimed, and they shut down the studio. Why? So Square Enix letting Acquire go right after Octopath Traveler 2 being fucking successful, that's just weird. So why did it happen? Why did Acquire leave Square Enix? And why did Kadokawa Games bought them, why buy them? I don't understand. But it's just open to speculation, right? Why will they do that in this day and age? When there's a lot of studios being shut down, So I don't know what's gonna happen in there. I don't know if we'll ever see Octopath Traveler 3 one day. But if we do, I hope it's still developed by Acquire. Come on, man, imagine when Tri-Ace left Square Enix. Remember that? Everybody was scared. Everybody was like, Star Ocean is over. Valkyrie Profile is over. And sure, Valkyrie Profile is over, but Star Ocean is still alive. But I just dread to think of a Star Ocean game not developed by Tri-Ace. So it's the same with Octopath Traveler. I fear for the future, I'm scared, but hopefully they can figure something out and bring back Acquire to develop the third game. Hopefully. But we'll see what happens. PS5 will probably take off when PS6 is released. Probably. Or near the end of its lifespan. I think what needs to happen is the PS5 needs to go down in price. That's the only thing that needs to happen. If only the PS5 was $300. A lot of people will get it. But just a lot of people don't want to pay $500+ for the PS5. That's the big problem. That was a big problem when it came out, and 3.5 years later, it's still the same fucking problem. Sony, PlayStation, there's barely any respect left from me to PlayStation. Political bullshit, greed, stupid decisions. What the fuck are they doing, man? PlayStation is going to hell, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on Exist Archive? Great game, developed by Tri-Ace, in a style of Valkyrie Profile. Nothing to do with those games, very different game. This is a science fiction game with high school students as main characters. So that was a bit of a letdown, but it's still a great story, great combat. It's a grind fest. But it's a good game, I like it. I like Exist Archive a lot. Will you purchase Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance? No, I won't. I have no interest in that game. What's your favorite element of a JRPG character design? Well, character design, you mean in terms of personality or in visuals? Like in clothes. You can have to be more specific. Come on, make Foxhound. You gonna start a drama here? Like, most people that are woke don't watch this channel, man. So no one's gonna answer that. Exactly, The Last of Us. PS3 went through the same. Once it came down in price, it picked up like crazy. Everybody bought the console. And developers saw that and they started developing more games for PS3. And it was a successful console. Yeah, that's what Sony needs to do with the PlayStation 5 right now. You got 2 PS5s. You have a lot of money to spare then. Is it possible to play Trails through the e-break without playing the previous games? I don't know, man. I haven't played it. I can't answer that question. I'll play the demo in a few days. Do you think Square Enix should go back to their 90s Squaresoft 2000s? That's never gonna happen, but yes. I think they should do that. But that's not gonna happen, never. Thoughts on Mother 3? I've never played it. I mean, I'm still interested in your question, man. Okay, both. In terms of personality, what's my favorite element of a JRPG character design? I like personalities to be edgy, just not that edgy. I like edgelords. But I'm more of a multi-dimensional type of personality. Like, I want these characters to go through something and have different opinions about different things. And think differently on different things. You know? I like that. I prioritize my favorite characters are like that. Or I also have a bunch of favorite characters that are like over the top. But they're so unique and special at the same time. Even if they're not multi-dimensional, there's just something very unique about them. Or I love the type of characters like Harley from Chrono Cross that give off this cliche tropey vibe, but then every now and then they start saying things, or they have an opinion on this, or their dialogue is like you weren't expecting that. You know, that's the type of personality that I like about JRPG character design. And when it comes to physical, you know, I don't really have a preference. It's not like I want every single character to be attractive or cool looking. You know, some of the most boring looking characters are some of the best out there. So I have no preference, you know, as long as they don't look fucking ridiculous. The one thing that I don't like about Velvet Crow in Berseria is her outfit. Sure, it's sexy, it's there to show off some skin and fan service, but it looks kind of weird, kind of like it doesn't fit her personality. If they wanted to make her look sexy, I think they could have done better. You know, I don't know, there's just something about Velvet Crow's design that I'm not really a big fan of, but I fucking love that character. So, yeah. As long as they don't look that generic. I want their character, their design to look a little bit special. It doesn't need to be over the top special or cool looking or unique. But I don't want them to look fucking ridiculous. Like Rex, for example, looks in Xenoblade Chronicles 2 looks kind of like, what the fuck is who wearing, man? I mean, the hell is this, man? Or I don't know, Maggie Lou. I love Maggie Lou. I love her design, but the books around her make no sense. Nobody will go around or walk around with a bunch of heavy-looking books around her waist. I mean, that's just dumb. I don't know, man. It's not that picky. That's what I'm trying to say, but I just don't want characters to look fucking ridiculous. Thank you, Ashoka Tano. He says, I played through both Daybreak games last year, and you guys are in for a treat. Oh, you know Japanese, maybe? Or was there an English translation for both? Anyway, best Trails game since the Sky and Crossbell games. Oh, I take it you don't like Cold Steel, huh? You Cold Steel hater? Just kidding. Okay, I can't wait, man. I'm gonna play the demo in a couple of days. I'm excited. Edgy, sexy, and dangerous. Nice. And you know, that's not what I said. You misunderstood me. I don't care. There's a lot of characters that aren't edgy, sexy, or dangerous, and they're some of my favorites. Right? There's nothing edgy or sexy about them, you know, and they're still, you know, great characters. I can mention a crap ton of Suikoden characters or Fire Emblem characters that fit that criteria. They aren't edgy, sexy, or dangerous, and they're great. They have great character design in personality and visually speaking, you know. Velvet is edgy, sexy, and dangerous. She fits that criteria. She just looks ridiculous. And Harley, I mean, sure, I guess she's kind of sexy, but not really. She's not that edgy either. She's just funny, mostly comedy and irony and cynicism. She's a cynical. I guess she's dangerous. This is Kudelka, this music. Sherazard is sexy as hell. Yes, of course, she's based on a pagan look, gypsy kind of look, you know, and she's racked, she's stacked, man, of course she is. I like her friend, who is one of the bad guys, I forget her name. Wow. No wonder Sherazad had a bone to pick with her. Luciola, thanks, man. Oh, man. Fighting with her was not fun. You mean fighting against Sherazad? Or having Sherazad as a party member? I think she's a good mage. She's a decent physical attacker and also a decent mage. She's a balanced character. She wasn't in my final party in Sky 2 though. In Sky 2, I had Estelle, I had Joshua, and 2 spoiler characters. Leave it at that. No, having Shira in the team was not fun. You didn't like her as a unit. Okay. It's like a red mage. Yeah. Kinda, yeah, balanced character. Good in physical, good in magic, but not outstanding, you know. I get it, yeah. I wasn't the biggest fan of her, but she's there with you. She's one of the main characters in the game, in the Sky Trilogy. I mean, she's just there. She's forced on you in a lot of missions, right? In a lot of chapters. I don't know, man. I like her. She's not one of my favorite characters, but I like her. Yakuza Infinite Wealth on Amazon for $25 US. Pick it up, man. Yeah, it's worth that price. It's not worth 40. It's a really good game. 40 is a great price for it, but you will be supporting the woke bullshit from Sega. But 25, pick it up. Pick it up, man. Yeah. I don't think... I've talked about this before. I don't want to get into it. Well, let's just say real quick that I just don't think the Yakuza series is woke. It's more like these guys have been like this since the start. There's a lot of duality in there. There's a lot of things that are politically correct that they favor. Well, there's also a lot of politically incorrect things that they favor. These guys aren't black or white. You know, you can't think of the Yakuza series as black and white. There's just a lot of things that they agree with, that the developers agree with. You know, they like some feminism stuff, you know, but they also have a lot of fan service. You know, and they're also like, I don't know, man, there's just... But it's Sega. It's still fucking Sega. So, I'm just talking out of my ass here. That's all I wanted to say. I don't want to talk about the topic again. Favorite game of the year so far? Trying to do a quick recap in my head. Released this year, right? You know what? It's just I'm a Suikoden diehard, man. I can't help it. Eiyuden Chronicle. I'm gonna pick Eiyuden Chronicle, but I'm biased. I'm a Suikoden diehard. So I'm definitely not being objective at all. Because it's not the masterpiece that I praised, you know, in the review. It's still a really, really good game, Eiyuden Chronicle. But it's my best game so far this year. Despite the localization, despite the flamboyant release, I fucking love it. But you're asking the Suikoden fanboy that question, right? What are you gonna get? What are you gonna get? The Suikoden game. Unicorn Overlord is a close second. Pretty damn good. Infinite Wealth. Damn it, Persona 3 Reload, man. despite the wokeness, I had a blast with Persona 3 Reload. What else is there this year? Grand Blue Fantasy? It's a great game, but nah. It's too short, too repetitive. Still great, but no. Cards RPG? Anybody? Nobody played it, I know. Nah. It's a great game, but not one of the best. Yeah. Well, we're halfway through the year. I have my hopes on Trails Through the Daybreak and East 10 and maybe other surprises in the year. I don't know. We'll see. Suikoden is way better than Eiyuden. About half of the games are better. Suikoden 2 is better. Suikoden 5 is better. Suikoden 1, it's like on pair with Eiyuden. It's an interesting tie. Suikoden 3 is the same. Like, I don't know which one I like more, Eiyuden Chronicle or Suikoden 3. It's up there. I think out of nostalgia, I'm just gonna pick Suikoden 1 and 3, but because I played those games for years, and Eiyuden, it came out this year, right? So we need more time. Anyway, so last questions, guys. What the hell? Is it still Kudelka? Yeah, the music. Your guilty pleasure is the newer Star Ocean games. Why is that a guilty pleasure? What the hell, man? Those games are fucking great. Star Ocean 6, The Divine Force, amazing game. The remake of Star Ocean 2, masterpiece. How dare you call them guilty pleasures, man? What's wrong with you? Neptunia games are my guilty pleasure. So that's a guilty pleasure. See, right there is a guilty pleasure. That's something to feel embarrassed about. Nah, I'm just kidding. But come on. Star Ocean, see, what the hell, man? But you know what? Star Ocean is like Shin Megami Tensei. The first one game comes out and it's embarrassing and wow, fucking game sucks, mixed reviews and whatever. And then the next game comes out and suddenly that one game, that previous game is a masterpiece. That's Shin Megami Tensei and Star Ocean for you. It's been this way since Star Ocean. I remember, man. When Star Ocean Till the End of Time came out, I played it and half of the world hated the game. Oh no, it's fucking terrible. You know, I hate it. What the fuck were they thinking with that ending? The battle system, blah, 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 blah. And nowadays, oh no, Star Ocean 3, that's one of the best of all time, right? Because the Last Hope came out and it was criticized. Oh, the voice acting, the fucking little girl, Limel sucks. What's up with this battle mechanic? Edge, he's a lame protagonist. What a cliche story. What the fuck, man? Oh, Star Ocean Till the End of Time is a masterpiece. And then all of a sudden Star Ocean 5 comes out. And well, that game's still kind of bad. It's not like Star Ocean 6 came out and it's trash and now Star Ocean 5 is a masterpiece. No, I don't see anybody saying that. It broke the routine. Man, it broke the cliche, the trope. No one is saying, well, maybe just a few people, but no, Star Ocean 5 is still universally not a great game. Nobody likes Star Ocean 5 before or after. I like it. Hey, I like it. I finished it. I like the game, but it's the worst Star Ocean game. And it still is. And I'm pretty sure when Star Ocean 7 comes out, Star Ocean 5 will still be the worst in the series. It's still good. If you see it for dirt cheap, pick it up. Has some good things about it. Has great fan service. The music is fucking great too. The battle system is a mixed bag, more leaning towards bad than good, but it's mostly because of the camera angles. Camera moves all over the place. Difficulty spikes are crazy, one of the most unbalanced video games ever. You get into one random battle, you destroy everything in seconds. You get into the next one, they destroy you in seconds. That makes no fucking sense. The graphics for its time were great. I mean, it's still a good looking game. There's some shading in there that I don't like, but I mean, it's still a good looking game. There's still some good to be found in Star Ocean 5. It just isn't great. Has a lot, and I mean a lot of issues. It puts every issue every single Star Ocean game has to shame. It's the epitome of the Star Ocean issues, that game. But I'm being too harsh on it. It's still worth playing if you see it for dirt cheap. I gotta go, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot for tuning in. This was the Amazing Damn Q&A. I will see you in a couple of days, probably with the Trails Through Daybreak stream. Be sure to tune in. And if you don't care about it, be sure to tune in to my other streams. And if you don't care, we'll see you in the next goddamn Q&A.